So we're down here in BrickTsar's basement trying to figure out, has he run out of shirts? There are 366 days in this year, and he is supposed to be wearing a different t-shirt every day. Where is the next t-shirt? What will it be? Hey, it's Jaabo. Welcome to BrickTsar. I'm going to start this video off by letting you know that it is sponsored by Into the AM. That's where I got this shirt. They sent it to me for the purposes of making this video. And I am being paid in t-shirts, just to be clear also. But yeah, there will be a code, a link in the description and in pinned comment where you can get 10% off your order. They have a lot of really cool shirts. I've worn several in previous videos. They did sponsor us back when we did the t-shirt challenge. It's actually the most perfect sponsorship for this year. I know I talk about Lego, but I've been wearing a different shirt every day. And I want to thank them for helping me with this shirt. I love this sand color. That's why I picked it. I could have picked anything in their catalog. I picked two shirts. This is one of them. In another video, I will wear the other shirt that I got for this sponsorship that they're helping me with. And also, I don't do the typical sponsorship thing. I get very uncomfortable with that. I just usually want to talk about what I want to talk about. So I really appreciate them giving me this opportunity. So the link, I do get a percentage if you buy something, and hopefully it'll work out, because I have this ultimate goal. It's a pipe dream. I haven't talked to anybody with Into the AM about this, but I want to build a relationship, because I would love if one of their artists would make a tipper truck inspired space or anything really shirt. I mean, not all of the shirts are space themed like this, and this one, we're on the anniversary of the moon landing. So it's 55 years ago. Wow, it's hard to believe. But yeah, if I could get a tipper truck design t-shirt, that would be awesome. So by you helping me, if you want to buy a shirt from them, they got some neat deals. And I may mention again later in the video. But yeah, thanks to Into the AM for helping me with my t-shirt craziness. And this video is going to be a BrickTsar answer thingy. Which you should know by the title of the video. We're going to be talking about things that you have asked me, whether they're Lego related or not. And I hope you like this shirt. All right, so we'll get going back a couple of weeks, because it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one of these videos. But this is from the Brick King 98. He says, "Have you got anything from the Bricklink Designer program?" And since he asked that 2 weeks ago, yes, I have got quite a few things from the Bricklink Designer program. I'm not a Bricklink Designer program completist, but there is one thing I came to the realization in a previous video, or maybe it's a future video. Might be a future video. I think it's a future video. I have not built anything from the Bricklink Designer program. At least I can't remember building anything. And I have at least three or four sets from the very first run when nobody knew what it was. Here's one from Martin Ferret. He says, "Well, buy a bunch of new plates from a seller. The seller will often stagger them together for shipping. Are those plates to be considered used?" And so this was in a video I was talking about. I don't remember what I was talking about, but the question comes up about used and new bricks. Obviously, if you buy a bulk lot from somewhere, it's going to be used. I don't think you should assemble the bricks and plates and things. I know people do that to save space. Hey, I'm in space in this shirt. Thank you, Into the AM. Oh, the space in the envelope or whatever they're using to ship it. I don't know why you do that, because it takes time to assemble. So to me, it's easier just to throw the parts in a bag. I usually try to wrap the bags or place them, do it in a way that it is not taking up much space. I know people, when they used to do the pick-a-brick cups and now the pick-a-brick boxes, people like to stack their bricks. That's fine, because that's your own personal stuff. But I'm like, it ain't worth the time to me to do that. But yeah, they probably should be considered used. And when I was answering his question, I realized probably the damage to a brick comes when you try to unseparate it from another brick. That's where the scratches get. When you just connect them, they're not going to have any scratches. But when you try to pull them apart, that's when you have the potential to damage the brick. So yeah, they probably should be called used, and I don't think it's a good practice for a seller to put the plates or the bricks together. Oh, who's this guy? This is They Might Be Bricks. Don't know who that guy is. It says, what Lego theme do you think each main character of Seinfeld would collect? Well, George would collect the architecture sets, and he would pretend that he was the designer of them. Jerry would collect the Superman sets. Elaine would not collect Lego Friends. What would Elaine? Uh, oh my goodness. Maybe she'd get the corner garage and it has putty in it. Then what's I forget? Oh, Kramer. That's the other of the four main characters. Kramer would have to collect something weird. Fabuland. Probably not. Kramer will. What would Kramer collect? That's a good. That's a. I don't know. Newman, the mail sets, mail carriers and things. But man, I'm struggling to think of what Kramer would collect, and it's probably obvious. Oh, it would be the art theme. That's what it would be. It would be art themed related, and he would have the Mona Lisa, except it would be Kramer as the Mona Lisa. All right, Ty Novell asks, what happened in 2007 to start the new era? And that he put hashtag bat. So I always say that if I was going to come up with different eras of Lego collecting, there's some key points. 1958, when they got the patent for the brick with the tubes. 1966, the train. And then you have to go all the way up to 1978, the minifigure. Then I have a really hard time that 1978 to I don't know if I should go 84 when Castle theme started, but no, I tell you what, 1978 to 1989, or actually so it'd be 78 to 1988. That's a kind of an era. Then 1989 is when you start getting minifigures with other things other than the standard grin, and then I skip all the way up to 2007 because man, there's a dark ages in there. But 2007 that stands out for several reasons. I mean, you could say something about 2004, 2005, whenever the color change was, but 2007 it's kind of like the end of the 9-volt era, the last hurrah for Lego trains, and it ushered in things like the modular theme and bigger Lego sets. So these big Lego sets, I would have to go back and look at the catalog because I sometimes get things mixed up between 2007, 2008, 2009. But the modular theme, all those things that Jamie designed, that kind of started a new era for. So that, mainly the modulars, but I could probably do a video breaking it down in greater detail, the different eras and why things start an era or end an era, and just that the 9-volt trains were going away and bigger sets were coming along. That's one of the main reasons I say that. Here's one from ForBricksAndGiggles, the most influential vintage female Lego collector, maybe the most influential vintage collector of anybody. She does a better job than I do. And her collecting style is very similar to what I have been for many years, in that getting bulk lots and completing vintage sets from the bulk lots. It's the most fun way, I think, to complete a vintage Lego set, and cheapest as well. It's satisfying when you can find a bulk lot and you can discern what sets may or may not be in there, and then finding the rest of the parts. It's a great way of collecting. But anyway, she asked, do you have a YouTube play button plaque for any of your YouTube channels? Yes, and it is proudly hid behind a bunch of Sterilite containers on the wall in my basement. It used to be proudly. displayed, but that I moved. That's where the Bricklink store used to be, and I moved the Bricklink store to another section of the basement, but I never moved the plaque. And the plaque is the 100,000 subscriber silver play button for Trains Are Fun when that channel got 100,000. I really thought I was on the way to getting 3 play buttons. My original channel died because I kept changing the name of it. I should have just left it alone. When I started that channel, it was J Olson 37. Then I changed it to JAO Productions. And then it became BrickTsar's Basement and Beyond. And that's actually when it did the best. But I thought the name was too long. And I may have changed it 2 other times. But right now it's just Jaabo 37. I wanted to change it to Jaabo, but I already had a channel called Jaabo. And it's like, anyway, it's stuck at that Jaabo 37, and it's been stuck at 40,000 subscribers for it seems like 3 or 4 years. No growth on that channel. Oh, that's because I don't post videos there much. I need to make more roller coaster videos. And then I thought this channel, BrickTsar, would get, but at the rate I'm going, it will take maybe 75 years to get to 100,000 subscribers. What I might do next year, instead of focusing on a t-shirt every day, I was like, I just need to do good videos. So anyway, thanks for the question. Yes, Trains Are Fun. The enigma of my YouTube thing is like I just do anything and it does good over there. I could do better. But thank you, Trains Are Fun. You got me my play button. 152,000 subscribers over there with hardly any effort. Mayo Hasco, he says, is there a difference between set 612 and set 435? You need a tipper truck army emoji. That's for sure. I'm terrible. Oh, so you know what? Joey actually made me some more emojis, but I have a limit with the members. They only give you so many depending on how many members you get. And since I don't actively promote my memberships, I don't actively do the things I promised. I'm terrible at memberships, just like I'm terrible at sponsorships. Thank you, Into the AM, for sponsoring this. Use the code BrickTsar for 10% off your purchase. They have some really good things. But the difference between 612 and 435 is 177. And I don't think that's a set. But yes, both versions of the tipper truck are identical. There's no difference. I think everybody knows that. Here's another one from Mayo. Oh, wait, no, that was the same question. Here's a question from Rockin' Lego. It says, has the dark red plastic been improved since 2017 as well? I doubt it. I really think years from now we're going to be looking back at some old sets and they're going to be still parts that break. Supposedly they fixed it, and I guess, yeah, it seems like the 2009-ish era. But I just don't have confidence that it's truly fixed. But yeah, maybe they have. So Cario 73, how about a same shirt every day in 2025? I can promise you, well, I hope I make it through this year, but it is definitely not happening in 2025 because there's 365 days, not 366, and I am tired. And sometimes I think if I made better thumbnails, like if the thumbnail didn't feature me so much, like if I just did a video about a particular thing, the thumbnail would be better. But when have I cared about thumbnails? I mean, I do make them, but I don't care too much. Here's one from David Huff 3830. Says, for those instructions for which you have an exact duplicate of, and B, a copy of acceptable quality for yourself, would you consider reselling the extra copies? Yes. I have thousands in my Bricklink store now. And I have more to add. It's just I am slow about adding them because instructions are slow sellers, so I don't worry about it. And the longer I wait, the more valuable they become. But yes, I will sell duplicate instruction manuals, and I have. Marty Bricks, a lot of great parts. Where do you buy it from? I can't tell you. That's those bulk lots. Pasta Jensen, he's a channel member. He says, I like it when you try to speak German. Mine does not feel so bad then. Is this what you call an underhanded comment? And or underhanded. No, I called it a left-handed compliment. Nothing against lefties. I once got in an argument when I was playing basketball. Somebody told me I was left-handed, and I'm like, I'm not left-handed. It was a heated argument, and it's like, well, prove it. Prove that you're not left-handed. I can't. I can't prove that I'm not left-handed. So, Mardi Gras Man 23, do you have all the Fabuland figures now? Yes, I do. I have not done a video as I did the Jack Stone. We have all the Jack Stone figures. We have all of the Technic figures, but technically I probably don't. I have all the base figures for the Technic. I just didn't include the versions of those figures where you add the sticker to them, or the different gear that they wear, but they're all based on a particular figure. So just putting a sticker on it to me wasn't enough to say go get 2 versions or 4 or 5 versions of the same thing. But yeah, I do have all of the Fabuland figures. Now there are some that have creeped onto BrickLink in the last couple of years that are not listed as being in sets. I don't know if those are customs that people have made and snuck in there. I don't know if they were in the minifigure packs that there's not really an inventory of. They did do these displays, and there's one for sale on not BrickLink, on eBay for like $380. It's one the big. I don't know how big it is, but it's a green display where you can just go and buy Fabuland figures by the figure. And I have no idea what figures would have been in there. If it had been some unreleased ones, who knows? I really thought about buying that display case. Better not. Ty Novell, another question. Why don't you put more shelves on half of the table? So this table, this one of the goals, there's this big, it's over 4 foot by 8 foot table. It's bigger than my train layout. And I have this large table so that I can do train reviews on it, whether it be Lego trains or stuff where trains are fun. But I keep it full, and it's more space than I need for the vast majority of my videos. And a lot of the train videos that I do on the table, I can just do on the floor if I have to. So this table is actually on top of 2 foot by 4 foot shelves that could be stacked higher. So if I get rid of this table or make it half the size, I can have more shelf storage for sure. Next question is from Mark. It says, what does it mean when he says it's Jaabo? Hey, it's Jaabo. Welcome to BrickTsar. Wait a minute. What does it mean? I'll tell you what my brother, who I think it was my brother that coined Jaabo. I have older siblings. My oldest siblings, there were 4 of them. I had another sister that's older than me, but she would only been 3 when I was born. And everybody wanted to name me. They all had their names, and they took the first letter from each name, and that's how they came up with Jaabo. The O is for my last name, but that's how Jaabo came about. So I was actually named before I was even born, the nickname. All right, here's one from Brick Trains. Who is that guy? He says, so was this the first video with the tipper truck back? Oh! I just realized what he's talking about. He's talking about this. And is that a future video or a past video? So now the question is this the first video, or is that video the first video of the tipper truck? Thanks to the magic of time travel, I reassembled the UCS tipper truck. I think that's what you're talking about, Joey, right? Here's another one from Mayo. He says, why is it that as an Australian, do German BrickLink orders have cheaper shipping? Why can't I send stuff cheaper to the U.S. than Americans can send stuff to me? Is the United States Post Office gouging you guys? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. When I first started selling on eBay, it wasn't terribly bad to ship, even to Australia. But yeah, 1 pound, it's going to be like $30 to ship to Australia, I think. It's just crazy. And that's why I don't usually offer international shipping. Even going to Canada, it's expensive, yet those same places can ship to me. I have a package over there. There'll probably be a rant coming up, and I'm hoping the order came. I've been waiting forever. This package is coming from, I think, the Netherlands. Maybe it might be Germany. I could be Germany, but it went to the wrong post office here, which is in the next town over. A post office that doesn't have mail carriers; they just have post office boxes. It's like my post office, and they sent it to the wrong one. And it's like if they just the my the postal clerk at my post office said if she had known, she would have just gone over there and got it on the way home because she lives over there in that area. They know me very well. My post office. I know it's hard to believe. But so anyway, now it's got shipped back to the distribution center. It's coming back. But anyway, that's not really the point of it. The point is the guy charged me $36 for the shipping. I haven't paid $36 for shipping in a long time, and I've gotten some big orders. So I don't know why it's so different for different postal carriers, especially coming from different countries. Apparently, it is very cheap to ship from Asia to the United States or maybe other countries. But Australia, y'all get the short end of the stick on a lot of things. Is that the right expression? But it's, yeah. So I used to say years ago, talking about the post office, I said, I think they're trying to get out of the shipping business because they're making it so expensive. In fact, I've been printing labels for orders recently, and I was like, oh, they raised the rates again. Because you get used to when you print things for certain weight bands, and then you start seeing the price go up. You're like, oh, that didn't used to cost this much. But I haven't changed my brick link. So usually when you buy from me, you're actually paying less. You are paying for shipping, but it's usually less than what the actual shipping is. All right, let's go to another question. This is from Moments of the Magic. It says, long story short, I just got 2 giant bins of Lego from my nephew and got all my old Lego back and recently begun separating the bricks. Do you separate vintage bricks, 60s, 70s, 80s, from recent bricks? Whew. I think I left a reply to his comment. I try to do it. It is very hard. I usually, if I buy a bulk lot and it's mostly vintage by looking at it, I try not to mix it with new. When I bust open new sets and part them out, they either go to the store or they go somewhere different than the rest of the collection. I try not to mix them in with used bulk lots that I get. So that kind of helps keep mixing the vintage stuff. But I would love if it was possible to separate everything by the exact era. You can't, but main thing, tubes on the bottom, not supported, things like that. You can get kind of general place. And then there's cellulose acetate, those things from the 60s. Those are pretty easy to spot, and you don't really want to mix those up with ABS plastic bricks. Yeah, I would love to separate. In fact, I've been piecing together a train, the 7710 train. I've been piecing together extra carriages for it, and I have the parts in my store from the modern era, but I've been trying to get old, gnarly parts from the 80s, or at least close to the 80s as I can. There could be some from the 70s in there. I don't know. But yeah, I want it to be consistent looking. So if I got a bunch of new parts, it wouldn't look the same with my actual copy of that set, if you know what I mean. I'd rather. Maybe it's more important that the bricks that you use in a build all look about the same, whether or not they're from the same era. I don't. That'd be more on how used they are. But it's a great question, and it's a question that I get a lot in a different variety, because I think there are people that want their bricks in a set to be from the right era of the set, especially with a vintage set. But it's very hard, very hard. Tony Montana. I feel like I should have said that in a different accent. Did I enter the Matrix? There are 2 of you, but from different timelines. Oh, and Nader said, "Great haul, Jaabo. Keep up the great work." Is that your son in the video with you? So that's what I think they're both referring to that other handsome guy that has joined me for a few videos. I had this idea, and we just don't have the time to do it. I want to do a video where we do time travel, and my son plays the role of me. And right now, the age my son is, it would be 1991. So I was my son's age when 9-volt trains began. And then I try to think back, oh my goodness, that's why I didn't have a lot of them. I couldn't afford them in 1991. I was working, but it's like they were like $150 for the Metro liner. It was 100, or maybe it was more. It was that money then was crazy. Like it'd be like I don't know 300 or more dollars today. I couldn't afford it back then. I was working in a warehouse slinging boxes and man, but yeah, we could do time travel. They might be rates going to 1991. All right, that's my son. Yes, silly Irish. I can't do an Irish accent. Silly Irish man says, when starting out on Bricklink, did you sort parts by color or by type? I'm assuming you didn't go straight to a drawer, a drawer. Oh, I got to get the inflection in the right place. I'm assuming you didn't go straight to a part in a drawer, per drawer, and like the rest of us, had to put different parts together. But a debate on the Facebook groups. Bit of a debate on the Facebook groups as to which is right. Me by type. Uh, so, if you're sorting in general, I think your way by type is the superior way, and so that's whether or not. So, forget the Bricklink store. I mean, it relates to the Bricklink store. But if in my personal collection, when I'm working on, I'm putting plates together, modified bricks together, tiles together, regardless of what color they are. That's a better way, I think. The most ideal way is the impossible way. Every part has its own place, and nobody has the space for that. But for the Bricklink store, it's definitely one part per drawer. But when I started out, everything was like you did, sorted by type. I did individually bag them, so like all the plates, I mean all the tiles. That was some of the best sellers back in the early days was the tiles. I had all my tiles in a drawer or two, and they were in baggies. So I'd have all the 1x4 gray tiles in their own bag, just depended on how many I had of a part, whether or not it got its own bag or own place. But yeah, they were grouped by type. But I'm telling you, if you got the space, the part per drawer makes it so easy to pick. It is so easy to pick orders now. I think, and I've been doing it for 10 years thanks to Bricks on the Dollar Clutch. He's the one that suggested that. And when I look back at my first Bricklink video I did on this channel in December of 2012 to today is no comparison. No comparison. I have far less lost parts. I don't waste time picking orders. And yes, it doesn't make the best use of the space. And there are parts of the store where there are multiple parts, like on a tray. And I think the key to that, if you're going to mix things up, if you're going to have more than one part in a drawer, it is best that those parts don't look anything alike, or they're not even the same color. So that's where the by type might not be as good, because you can have things of the same type that look the same but are actually a different mold, and they could get mixed up. If they were all exactly the same type in different colors, yes, but then you're still going to have to dig through them depending on how many parts you got there. I can see why it's a debate, but two things. One, Do what works best for you. I will stand behind no matter what you do, how you do it. Just make sure when the customer is looking at it, they only see one item per condition. Don't have 500 different lots of the same part in new condition. Those should be all consolidated, whether or not you got them in 500 different places. So that's the first thing. The second thing, why are you on Facebook? I have a Facebook account. I don't use it that much. Um, there's no debates. I don't have any debates. Ron Valence, 5425. So are you going to start collecting Lego bags? No. Thank you to Spacetime Brick Studios, who designs custom Lego brickheads. I love the Star Trek ones. He sent me the bag. I forgot where. Oh, it's over there. The Lego store bag with the Star Wars thing. I'm definitely keeping that. Want to get it framed. I may get one of the original Lego bags to kind of be a counterpart to it. But no. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Here's one from William Blasenberg. He says, hello, Mr. Brick Store. I have a question. That train you have, set number 181, we also have that train, only the problem is that we do not have the 4.5 volt cord. Where did you buy or order the cord? I'd like to hear it. Greetings. So I did leave a reply. You got to learn how to use BrickLink, people. You got to learn. And I know there's far more people in the world that have never even heard of BrickLink than have. But if you're looking to complete your Lego set, you need to learn how to use it. Buggles Kelly, 37, says, oh, I keep forgetting. I got BrickTsar Ranter here. And I sometimes when I start a video, I don't know that it's going to be a rant. So we have got to get the BrickTsar ranting figure involved in these videos whenever there becomes a rant. Yeah, sorry about that, Jenny. Chief Sacklery, or is it Celery? Sacklery. I am sure I have missed it. I know you said you won't watch the show, but what about the movie? It's pretty funny, but may trigger someone that had an absent father. So I think you're talking about the Ninjago movie. I think we own. I think I own the Ninjago movie. I've never watched it. I might do that. I think I could handle the Ninjago movie. Jackie Chan did it, right? Didn't Jackie Chan do the Ninjago movie? I don't know. I haven't watched it. Oh, Ty Novell, asking all these questions. Why are you thinking about Lego at work? And do you think about work when you're playing with Lego? I want to say that I have found the perfect job for me in that I rarely ever have nightmares about work. When I worked at Winn-Dixie, I could hear the conveyor belts running in my sleep. I could hear that shh of the conveyor belts in my sleep. I would be moving boxes in my sleep. Even I love Six Flags, but I would think about it sometimes in my sleep. And I know you're talking about I'm doing this. When I talk about work, when I'm not there, it doesn't really stress me. I talk about it more like you're talking about stories about things. So it's not, I don't want to go to work. I want to retire, but I don't have one of those jobs that is just miserable. I think I've said it before. The number one thing I hate about my job is I have to drive a lot. I hate the driving part of it. If I didn't have to drive, like I could never be a truck driver or a courier or somebody that just all they did, because I don't like it. I don't like driving, and I've driven around Atlanta, Georgia so much that I don't get stressed with the driving. I know what people are going to do before they know what they're going to do. I'm able to avoid accidents. I wish I had the dash cam. It was like one of those movies where it goes in slow motion. I was on 285. It's the big perimeter that goes around Atlanta, and it's like 5 lanes. And we're getting there where I-20 is, and this truck, there's the exit right before I-20. Used to be Bankhead Highway. I have no remember what I don't know what they call it now. And this truck is one of these work trucks. It's like a pickup truck towing this long trailer with these orange and white cones on it. So it's like going to set up. Well, he needed to go from there to the left lane because in Atlanta you exit on the left lane at some of these stupid interchanges. So he's got to do that right across. So he did that and cut me off, and I had to slow down to keep his trailer from hitting the front of my truck. So I'm slowing down, and he just keeps getting over. All right. So, and the right lane ends because the right lane goes to 20 going west. The left lane is an exit going 20 east, but I think you can also go straight. So he gets over, and he's behind this other truck. Well, the good thing about him cutting me off is that I could see ahead that traffic was slowing down abruptly. So when he got out of my way, I had this huge gap. But what did I do? When I saw the traffic slowing down, I started to slow down. I didn't hit the brakes hard. I just let off the gas. And I said, the traffic's coming to a stop practically. Well, he's tailgating the other truck that is also pulling a trailer. And it's not one of these semi-trailers. It's a pickup truck towing a trailer, a big trailer, both of them. And that truck is tailgating somebody, and the traffic's slowing down. So what do you think happens? These trucks, they can't stop suddenly because they're pulling these heavy trailers, and they come over into my lane. The one truck looks like he's about to jackknife, and I'm like, oh, I can see it happening. I had to glance at my right to make sure, and I should have. Normally, I know when somebody's to the right of me, to the left of me, behind me, in front of me. I try to keep up where everybody is, but I'm like, that truck was coming, and I was hesitating to get over, but here he comes sliding. I am hitting the brake hard now. My truck starts to slide. It's a little Ford Transit. We always call them trucks, but it's Ford Transit. It's like a little van. He comes over, and I go over to the right lane, and we come to a complete stop. And I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm cringing up thinking about it. Nobody hit anybody. That was the thing. I was like, how did they not hit? But the only reason that nobody, this is my story, I can tell it how I want. The only reason nobody hit anybody is because I was paying attention. If I had been like everybody else, he would have hit me, and I would have hit somebody else probably. So the moral of the story is people are idiots. And that's what I think about at work. But yes, I do think about Lego at work. I think about YouTube comments at work. And I tell stories about work at home, but it's not a job that I dread. Robin Hull, love the suit. Now that's an old video. Oh my goodness! This is Lego haul number 127, which may sound like a lot, but They Might Be Bricks was little. I'm looking at the thumbnail for it, and I'm wearing a suit, like I think I was at the beginning of this video. He says, were you a fan of Talking Heads? So Talking Heads, they did those videos, and they were wearing suits. And I'm thinking, hey, 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 hey. Oh, I can't do Talking Heads. I didn't dislike them, but I never. Wait a minute. I do have a Talking Heads album from the 80s. So I do have. So yes, I did like the Talking Heads, but I wasn't what you would call a rabid fan. I have a CD collection, and it's a lot of the CDs I have. I only got one album from a particular band, or maybe they only did one album, and Talking Heads is one of them. But I don't dislike the Talking Heads. Daddy of the Sugar Variety says, someone told me there was a Lego Costco warehouse sold around the year 2000. Do you know anything about that? So I don't know if he means there was a Lego set that was the Costco warehouse. I didn't know anything about Costco in 2000, I don't think. So is that what you're talking about? a like a Lego set. I can't find anything. If there was, I doubt it. Chris Cummings. Would the architecture sets be a sub thing of Lego Builder Creator? I'm confused. I remember staring at the architectural sets at Barnes & Noble all the time because they seemed to fit with the Barnes & Noble upper crust store image. And oh, and then he was talking about Shy Times interview with Dan Siskin. Love that. That interview is one of my favorite ever Lego podcast interviews ever. So, and this is interesting to me because I don't, Brickmania is not something that appeals to me as far as like the tanks and the military stuff and the planes. They do tons of other things besides that. And so I've never been to a Brickmania store. I've never bought from them. They have bought from me. They've sourced tons of parts. So I love Brickmania. they've placed orders in my store from years ago. In fact, I think the first Pablo I did on this channel was a Brickmania order. Pretty sure it was. I didn't realize it at the time. But Dan designed the first blacksmith shop, and the reason I loved that interview is Dan is such an engaging person. I never realized that about him, but he also has a similar trajectory in the history of Lego collecting to me, except he was better. And just hearing him tell the stories, the stories of the endless clearance, how you sourced your parts, buying multiples of stuff when you're not even thinking about reselling. But he was an early innovator in reselling with his castle designs, and that's how his blacksmith shop became to be a thing. So I highly recommend watching that. And if you're not subscribed to Sitting on Stoop that Shy does, go ahead and do that. That's not the purpose of this comment that Chris left, but basically architecture is its own theme, in my opinion. And I was going to say he had something else in here. So he was talking about being the. Says He said he was only on the World Wide Web in March 2000. I didn't start much before that. I started in '97, and I looked very little at any Lego anything. Plus, I didn't have an email to just about 10 years ago. Now that is interesting. And I'm not very social online, so my Lego hobby was really closeted. And I relate to that statement. My Lego hobby was closeted. I was in my own world. I think YouTube really opened it up for me. I only had interactions with North Georgia Lego Train Club and the later Dixie Lug, which is now Peach Lug. I had interactions with those because I went to train shows. Not Lego conventions, train shows. And that's where I got exposed to that. But I was in my own little world in my collecting. I didn't have friends that were into it or stayed with it. So I was my own person in this thing. So I can relate to that in being foreign to the Lego community. And I'm still kind of that way with my Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. I have an absurdly large Thomas the Tank Engine collection. And I don't think I fit in with that community. I respect the community. I think I'm known by a few in the Thomas the Tank Engine community, but I'm not. It's like, I guess it would be like if you're an avid Lego fan and you just got some random guy that likes nanoblocks and calls them Legos. That's the way I am in the Thomas community. I don't think I fit in with the Thomas the Tank Engine community. But I love collecting the stuff. Then there's another comment from Buggles Kelly about ranting. I should have used a ranting BrickTsar when I was talking about traffic. All right, next question's from Geology Joe. How about a cork board for the pen? So we got that pen that was sent to me, the Lego pen. I have other Lego pens. I got this ranger tag from the Western theme. I got all kinds of things that could stick on a cork. I had one. I may have actually thrown it away. And if I still have it, I don't know where it is. I had it from the time I was a teenager. I don't know where it went. I may have thrown it away, but it's a good idea having a cork board to put pins on. You can get a smaller one. I don't think I need a very large one for the pins. No Scene Sounds says, please explain, what is the first part with the switches? It's incredible. He's talking about the little thing with the, it's from the Extreme Stunts, or maybe it's not Extreme Stunts. There's a skateboard set and a snowboard set where they got the little handle. It's been in, I got like 6 of them. That's what it's from. It's for doing stunts with your skateboarder or your snowboarder. I'm going to figure out a way to do something with it with tipper trucks. Am I done yet? I got more questions. Oh, Jimbo Bricks. Does bricking news matter to you? Yes, on Tuesdays it matters. And that's all my questions. Wow, that was a long video. I feel good though. And I want to thank our sponsor again, Into the AM. Use the code BrickTsar. Links in the description, pinned comment. I'll be wearing another shirt, and I think in all future videos that affiliate link will be there. Again, I'm not getting paid cash by them. I got paid in 2 t-shirts, and if you buy anything, and if you make this successful and I actually become an influencer with Into the AM, I'm hoping they'll make me a tipper truck design shirt. I think I was starting to, did I say that before? I can't remember. That's my ultimate goal, is to get a tipper truck inspired Into the AM shirt. If you're Into the AM artist, you know, I don't know how many people buy these shirts in general. I can probably think of a few that might get it if it's a tipper truck inspired one. It's a very niche, very small niche little group. That's my dream one day. But thank you, Into the AM, for giving me this really cool, and it is comfortable shirt. And I'm not just saying that because I got it for free. And I will wear it again. But not this year on camera, because I got to wear a different shirt every day. But fortunately, I got another one that I can wear in a future video. So thank you again, and thank you for watching this long. Thanks to the channel members who, a lot of them left questions there, and these BrickTsar answer thingies. You don't have to be a channel member for me to answer. They just get to watch these videos a long time before you do, if you're not a member, and without ads. So that's the 2 main perks. You get to watch the videos when I upload them, and you get to watch without ads, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Something's not right here. Oh, no! Now everybody's going to know I didn't film these videos in order.